Hello. Today we're going to be working with plant foods as healing materials that we consume, anti-inflammatories, to replace many chemical foods that we and other folks eat. This is what we recommend in our practice. We're not nutritionists, we're not dietitians, we're not trained for that. So we can only advise them into what we ourselves use and have learned that it has helped. So we have a lot of anecdotal information, and all you have to do is talk to any vegan and you can hear the stories too. How many illnesses just faded away by just feeding yourself anti-inflammatories, which is the plant foods. So this is one of the main things that we look at as important as the air that we breathe, in the products and the meds that we use, in the water and the beverage we drink. It is the foods that we eat. Many vegans that are eating very healthy are having many illnesses because they don't pay attention to the air that they're breathing or the products and the meds that they're using, maybe some products that they're using, but not the meds. They don't have the knowledge that we have in utilizing plant-based materials as an option for better health, a non-toxic option. So we have good information to bring to many, even to those who eat healthy. Remember that this is plant health in eating, and then the essential oils and the herbs that we cover, that we use in products and replacement of meds, and it is actually our option. It is plant medicine. It is vegan medicine. So you can't have one without the other. You can't think we're going to be healthy with one part of those 4 areas of good health. We need to be aware of practice of 4 of them. It is the balance of the 4. That's where we get exposed with chemical, and that's what we're going to look at and begin replacement. And this is one of the main ones. In order to eat healthy, and you need a couple of things. First of all, we agree from level 1 and the information on non-cooking pans to get rid of them. They're found on newborns today by the Red Cross. That one is one of the materials that's found on the newborns. So we're going to look at what the newborns have in chemical-wise, 287 chemicals, from their mother's and father's environment, and begin to realize that that's the chemicals that many of us carry with us. So we're going to look at those chemicals and begin to replace many of the products, many of the foods that have those chemicals. So the cooking utensils needs to be a little bit different if you're going to be eating healthy. You need something to steam vegetable. This is a very nice way of doing it. And you also have the regular steamers. Anywhere that you're able to steam vegetable, that's a good setup to have. You need something to stir fry vegetables and tofu and so forth, which is excellent food, because with the seasons you can change them around. So you need something for stir fry, and then you need something to dehydrate. If you don't have a dehydrator right now, you can still use your oven at 130 degrees. Leave it open a little bit, and you can use, let's say, kale, and in pieces. Put some salt on it, some olive oil, and bake it for about 5 to 10 minutes to have kale chip. A great substitute for potato chip for somebody who is used to potato chip. Remember that salt and sugar, they're addictive. So it's not one of those things that is easily to be changed. As a matter of fact, we mentioned that sugar is more addictive than cocaine. That's what the science says. So it's good to begin to get away from the substance and realize that it's not an easy task. It takes a little bit to get that out of our system. So this is one way of doing it, of making chip. In the dehydrator, you can dehydrate any fruits that is in season. You keep the 90% of the nutrients, and one addition to that, besides being a great emergency food, because it keeps you for a long time and it has so much nutrient, you can make your own season by taking, let's say, dehydrated onions, dehydrated tomatoes, dehydrated green peppers. Here we've got ginger and turmeric is here, ginger is here, and pulverize them in a NutriBullet, which is the main item that one needs to get. If you're going to get any item, begin with a NutriBullet. It is the way to take green leaf and make it liquid, make it into a wonderful juice. Now, there's many options up there. There is the Vitamix, with many of you might have, and that's excellent. But you don't have to spend that money to get the effects of the healthy diet. And it's not really a diet, it's actually a different way of eating. So let's not call it a diet from now on, let's just call it a different way of eating. Because a diet, we think a diet is being temporary. All of us have been on a diet, it's been on a diet. This is really a different way to eat. You're actually starving a condition rather than feeding it. And you're starving it with anti-inflammatories. Now, the NutriBullet is what I recommend personally, because personally this is what I do on a daily basis. I'm going to be sharing with you what I do on a daily basis, which I learned in 2013 by visiting EarthSafe in Miami, and that's a vegan group that loves to inform people on how to eat healthy. Until then, I wasn't paying attention to the food. I have paid attention for many years to the air, to the products, to the meds, and that's what my main concentration was. And then in 2013, I was introduced to the foods. Just like those who are vegans and pay attention to the food, don't pay attention to the air or the products. I was reversed. So once I was introduced to the food, it was very easy for me. I no longer needed to remember the long names in the ingredient list. I didn't have a memory for that. I made it very simple. I just began to reduce and eliminate anything with an ingredient list. And that's what I recommend. I began to see the results right away. And I'm going to share with you what I have on a daily basis, and then I'm going to share with you later on case studies that I have seen this work with a few of the illnesses. Now let's begin with how I prepare my NutriBlast or NutriBullet. And once again, you could do it with Vitamix, you can do it with a Ninja. You just make sure that you have the horsepower of 900 watts or more. That's what it takes to make leafy green with a liquid into a liquid juice. And at the same time, you're smashing the material, so you're activating the material. So this is live substance. So let's begin to share with you my choice of things. I have here carrots, which is vitamin A, vitamin E, beta-carotene. Now, this is what it looks like. It doesn't look like a pill. It looks like this. This is a real thing. I have celery, which is a good diuretic. I have included a piece of ginger. That's for blood cleansing. Also for blood cleansing, sometimes I put in a piece of beets, red beets. So that's right here. Before I do that, I'm going to take a handful of kale, which definitely has more protein than meat. So it has more protein than meat and milk. We're going to put like a handful in here. Then I'm going to put in cilantro. There's a science behind cilantro, that cilantro and parsley are effective in cleaning the fat out of the liver. So I'm going to add a little piece of that, because in 68 years, definitely, I'm sure I have accumulated some fat in my liver, so I'm going to add a little bit of that. And then the watercress was recommended by a medical doctor, actually a pulmonologist that is the director of one of the local hospital pulmonology wing, and he recommended watercress and mentioned that he recommended this to his patients that has lung cancer and that they have emphysema or asthma. And he seems to have the science to unclog and detox the lungs. So based on his recommendation, I'm going to go ahead and put watercress on that. And I do that one day yes, one day no, depending on how the watercress is looking. By the way, eating healthy is less expensive than eating chemicals. And you begin to realize that once you begin to learn how to work with the material. Now, here we have the carrot that we use. All this, by the way, is organic, and I wash all of this. So, but they're all organic, and once again, very inexpensive. You can get them from a local farm, or you can get them from a local store, and you'll see how you begin to save on not only in illnesses, but you begin to save also on the food that you eat. The carrots that you want to eat are the regular carrots, not the mini carrots. If you don't know by now, the mini, which I did not know until somebody told me, the mini carrots, the baby carrots, are actually shaped by machine and taken from the carrots that has defects and so forth, and then there are bleached. They're bleached and they're put out for us to eat. So we don't do mini carrots, we do regular carrots. So that's that. So now that I have my greenier here, I'm going to go ahead and put in my carrots and my celery. I have one carrot and one celery, and then a piece of beet and the ginger. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add an apple and a banana. The FDA tells us that all apples has arsenic, and that's why, and pesticides, so therefore, one form or the other, even organic. So, we want to either soak them in vinegar and water for 20 minutes. I don't have the patience for that, so what I do is I peel it. After I wash them, I peel it. And I don't have to worry about the skin. Now I have already one peel here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut and add it to our mix. There's pros and cons in eating the seeds, so that's up to you to decide. I take them out just in case. Okay. Now the next one that I'm going to go in is for the banana. Now, we know that the healthy banana is the one that we thought it was not healthy. We thought that the healthy ones were, like nice and yellow, but it's not. It's the one with the specks. That's the one, when if you get them like this, that's when the banana has all the properties in them. So I'm going to go ahead and peel the banana. And I'm making this for me, so I'm not wearing any gloves. I'm not in the restaurant business. I don't make this for anybody else but myself and my friends. And we're going to add to this filtered water up to the line. Now, this happens to be the Nutri Bullet 900 watts. They also have one that is more powerful and one that's less powerful. No need to have neither of them. The less powerful does not break it down as good as 900 watts. And the RX, which is I think 13 or 1500 watts, is not needed because this does the job. And this is about $120 in local stores over the internet. I'm going to go ahead and fill it with water up to the line. And that's important because if you pass that, it will definitely leak. Okay, we got it. then the next thing I do is I like a spicy. And remember I told you that we can take the spices from here and we can also dehydrate or oven dry any herbs that we grow and then ground them in the NutriBullet and make your own season. So here I made my own season that has ginger powder, it has turmeric, it has pepper, it has oregano, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit here. Just a little bit to give it a little spice. Remember, these are materials that we make salad. So you can spice it up if you like. The spices happens to be excellent for circulation for the heart and also your antibacterials. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. And it's important that you count your minute. Actually, you look at your watch for your minute. If you count your minutes, it's too short. And I realize that. So I'm going to go ahead and count my minute. And we're going to be beginning now. While this is doing this, I'm going to come over here. I already have soaked almonds in water overnight because we're going to make our own almond milk. Why? Because the almond milk we get at the store has an ingredient in it. Some chemicals, and one of them is suspected of being a carcinogen. So I thought it was healthy when I was getting almond milk from the store, but no. I was eating an ingredient. So to make almond milk is very simple and very inexpensive. You soak the almonds overnight. You're going to put I already rinsed it out. When you rinse, it is a red color that it is all the acid of the almond, and you leave it peel, comes out. And before I put it in, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn this off for a few seconds. I'm going to let it rest because I'm going to go for one more minute. Do you see how long the minute is? It's longer when you time it. So I'm going to put a handful of almond that I have rinsed after having water overnight, soak it just like beans and so forth. And the reason is that you want to soften them up. So I'm going to put a handful of almond here, 2 handfuls. And then I'm going to add water. And if you haven't seen this, let me get this out of the way so you can see what happens. But I'm going to be straining it. But while I'm straining it, because we have the almond pieces on the bottom, while I'm straining it, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on again for another minute to make this a little more of juice, a little more juice-like. So I'm going to go ahead and go for another minute. Now we're ready to drink. Oh yeah. Now remember everything we put in here? Look at that. Salute. I am now going to be drinking my live vitamins, my live minerals, and anti-inflammatories. In 10 minutes, this is going to be in my bloodstream. Salud. Oh yeah. So I drink 8 ounces of that in the morning, either after I drink a cup of coffee or I drink a cup of tea. And then this fills me up all the way up to like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, where I have a choice of eating other plant-based foods to get me into dinner. So this is really recommended on a daily basis. What happened to me is that within a week of doing this daily, I no longer had an urge for key lime pie that I was addicted to. I was able to walk past key lime pie without wanting. I didn't have an urge for salty things. I didn't have an urge for pastelitos, which are the Spanish pastries, which were delicious. But every flake of like a croissant or pastelito is a layer of fat. So I'm packing my arteries with fat. I mean, it's very hard to pack your arteries with fat if you don't eat it. So I was able to get away from the addiction of sugar, the addiction of salt, and the addiction of desserts and pastries by doing this on a daily basis by the second week. The energy is amazing. Once again, these are your live vitamins. This is not a synthetic pill of vitamins. This is your live vitamins, and you can deviate. You can do fruits. You can do fruits and vegetables. When you get any of the machines, it comes with an excellent book that gives you all kinds of different suggestions to make. This is just what I do myself on a daily basis for the purpose of what I mentioned, and you can go ahead and create your own. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a case study on this. This is on a friend of mine that lives in Mexico. He had sores on his leg, which under medical care in Mexico, with the use of lavender, it closed within 7 days. These are diabetes sores. And he had a very bad way of eating. He ate everything greasy, pork rinds, you name it. He had acid reflux. He was on blood pressure medication. He had was on a tank for sleeping at night. His wife also. He was also with erectile dysfunction for 6 months. So there's nothing like something tragic in someone's life, especially a man, that makes them change right away and makes them choose whatever healthier way they need to go. Until then, nothing can hurt me. You know, what else is going to kill me? But he was ready now to make a change. So I share with him what I did daily, and what I wanted him to do was to do 2 of this. Now, by doing 2 of this daily, you're pretty much 80% vegan without even trying it. You'll find yourself full, you'll find yourself satisfied and full of energy. So he's to do 2 of this per day. He's an 80% vegan, and stop eating anything that is dead animal. Because as we covered before, you're eating something acid. You're contributing to your acid state, and we know that the pH, when it's acid, illnesses move in. So he did that. He stopped eating any animal food. And by the way, there's no cancer is not connected with animal food. So we have to be aware of this. And once again, eliminate anything that feeds many of the illness. So he stopped eating animal foods. He started eating 2 of this per day. And then he could eat pasta, he could eat anything that he wants. But what happens the first 2 weeks, he no longer had the urge for sweets, salt, and that was the main one. Pork rings, things that used to like attract him continuously. Potato chips, he could walk past them without the urge of having any or having some. So that happens 2 weeks. In 3 weeks, he was no longer in blood pressure medications. Blood pressure was fine. He did not need the tank to go to sleep. He wasn't snoring anymore. In 3 weeks, he didn't have erectile dysfunction. And in 4 weeks to 4.5 weeks, he did not need insulin. It seems like he did a good job on his diabetes, that he did not need any insulin. Now, all this is done, of course, on the doctor's observation. We're just complementary to their health. We just cover the area that is not covered in the doctor's office. And this is what we're able to bring to the table. So this is really nice, and you can feel the effects right away. In order for you to recommend this to somebody else, just like anything else, you have to try it. You have to try it to see what it does for you, what it does for your family, and then you can bring your story to others, and you're able to recommend it from a practical point, because you are doing it, you have done it, and you have seen it. Besides that, you lose weight without even trying. So my waist went down 2 inches without even trying. So this is a great thing to go. Now let's go and move over here now to the milk. We just made milk. Wonderful almond milk. We know the ingredients, almond and water. What we're going to do with this now is we filter it once. See, and you have here the particles of almond, which we can use. We can dry and use on salads, on desserts. It's almond. As a snack. So I'm not throwing that away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to filter the milk one more time to get the little sediments out. Which we did. Then we're going to make a little dessert. One of the hardest things for me was to do away with ice cream, with commercial ice cream. Whether it's healthy ice cream or whatever ice cream, it has an ingredient list of chemicals. So I need to get away from that. So I began to freeze fruits. This happens to be bananas, but I can mix it with frozen blueberry, frozen strawberries. The good thing about this is that you can freeze the fruits of the season and always have them there to make your smoothies or to make your ice cream. This makes an excellent ice cream. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple of bananas in here. They're frozen. And then we're going to add a little of the milk that we made. If I add more, it will be a gray banana shake, frozen. So I'm going to add a little of that. I'm going to put like a teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa. We know the benefit of that. And then, for sweetener, I'm going to add a little honey. By the way, when you have and you make your almond milk, remember the vanilla tincture that we made in the tincture video? You can use a couple of drops of that, 20 drops into your batch of vanilla, and you have almond vanilla. But you know the ingredients. So I'm going to add a little honey. There we go. Let's see. We should be able to be fine here. We might have to add a little more milk. If I wanted more ice cream, I put another frozen banana. But this is a great substitute. So we have banana chocolate ice cream. We know the ingredients. I can eat as much as this without inflammation. And I can change this around. If I have mint, peppermint growing in the garden, I can put a little mint in here and I have now banana chocolate mint. And you can be creative, you can make combination. The moral of the story is that eating healthy not only is easy, not only is less expensive, and it's easier to clean up, because you don't have to worry about cross-contamination with meat and grease and so forth. But it is fun to make. You can involve the whole family in making this. You get like 3 pounds of almond. I think I paid $16 for 3 pounds of almond, and I will get about 3 gallons or more, maybe 4 gallons of almond milk. This milk is good for a week in the refrigerator, but it won't last that long. You can also use it as a skincare lotion, it's almond milk. Just remember that when you're working with any nuts, if anybody comes to visit, before you do offer them anything that have nuts, or anything from something that you use nuts, that they don't have a nut allergy. Those are real. So you want to be cautious of that. Okay? So we cover some of the way of eating healthy, and hope that this helps you a little bit in bringing this to your life, because the whole education and course that you're going through is just words if you don't put it into practice for yourself. So by now, I hope you already have gas off your home. I hope you have changed your deodorant, your toothpaste, your cleaning materials, and I hope you begin to change your food. So you get an idea of what the plant-based and complementary alternative medicine concept does for someone's life. And that's what we have seen in ourselves, and that's what we're bringing to others. Thanks again for joining. I'm going to go ahead and stay here and enjoy the ice cream. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Stay healthy, my friends.